All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on this week's video. This week, we are gonna be doing some mods to my 2020 Toyota Tacoma. If you follow my channel or you've been here for a while, you have seen this truck in a ton of my videos. I picked this truck up brand new off the lot in 2020, and since then, we've done a lot of mods to this truck here on the channel. I've changed the camping setup several times. We've put a lift on it. We've added lights, cool Prinsu racks, all kind of stuff. And it's changed, slightly here and there. I've kind of dialed in the back. I'm super happy with the way I have the back now with that Diamondback setup. It's a lightweight camping rig, and I really do like it. I've got some upgrades coming to it soon too. I'm gonna share with you guys. But today we're gonna be focusing on the inside of the vehicle, and I'm gonna be stepping a little bit out of my comfort zone with doing mods to my truck. I haven't been wanting to tear into any factory stuff on the dash since I've got it, but now that it's 24 now, it's 4 years old, the news kind of started to wear off on me. I think it's time that I can make a mod to the dash and finally get rid of that tiny head unit that comes in these Toyota Tacomas. If you're familiar with these third generation Tacomas, the head unit is super small right in the middle. It works great, it's a touch screen, but I wish it was bigger like some of these newer trucks, and that is where this comes into play. AU Car finally released their third gen Tacoma premium infotainment systems for these cars, the head unit. This thing has got Android 13.0, it's got wireless CarPlay, it works with Wi-Fi. This thing should do everything. It's touchscreen, and the screen on it is 13.8 inches vertically. So it's not a horizontal screen, this is up and down, and it's plug and play, which is my favorite part about this thing. We should be able to pop our whole cluster and everything off and pop this one back on just by connecting some wires, rerouting a few wires and doing a few things like that. Since it's plug and play, it does make me feel better that in the long run, if I get rid of this truck and I need to go back factory, as long as I keep up with my old stuff that I'm pulling out, I should be able to just unplug this unit, reconnect all of the factory stuff, pop it back in, and it'll be like it was never there. So that does help me step out of my comfort zone a little bit by messing with my dash, because this not only replaces the head unit, the screen, this is also gonna connect to my AC system. All my knobs and controls, those will go away, and everything will be touch button on the screen and a few buttons up under the screen to control my, the thermostat, the temperature, or whatever inside the truck, the blower, all of that stuff is gonna be controlled by this big touchscreen unit. This is from a company called AU Car. I'm gonna have this linked in the video description, and I did reach out to them for this unit to do a review here on the channel with you guys, so they also gave me a promo code. It is KAYAKUSA, all one word. It'll save you 50 bucks off the unit if you use that link in the promo code below. And let's tear this thing open and get started on this install. You get the warranty information you need to fill out, you get the installation manual and the user manual. And I thought at first, I was like, man, I hope this doesn't have one of those really crappy installation manuals. It doesn't. They put together a let's see if I can show you here on the screen, very high quality, full color installation process. Step by step, it shows all the wires, which ones you need for your model truck. This is for all of the third generation Tacomas. This will work with every one of them, even the ones with the JBL audio or the non-JBL audio. My truck doesn't have the built-in JBL. And if you order this, you select an option at the bottom whenever you're placing your order, if you have the JBL system or if you don't, because if you do, I think they send you an extra wire that's supposed to go in the back for the JBL, but if not, it's a little bit different of a system. And I believe, I looked through the manual, the 2016 to 2019 maybe had a certain harness, and then the 2020 through 23 had a different style harness, but everything is labeled, pictured, check that out. Hopefully y'all can see that. Even the user manual, look how nice this user manual is. Full color, every page on there. And I sit and went through this whole book last night, and it tells you how to sync your phone, you can add your SIM card into the back of this thing. It's got a slot for a SIM card, so you can have, your cell service built into this thing if you needed to. But let me show you what this thing looks like. Here is the wire stuff. I'm just gonna get it all out really quick, get this box out of my way. Yeet. And here is the head unit. Check that out. Do you see how it's got the 2 holes? Let's see if I can get them for you here. The 2 holes here, that is for your start, and this one will be for your 4-wheel drive. But if you don't have a 4-wheel drive model, this does come with these blanks that pop in to cover up that 4-wheel drive slot. You know, it's not just gonna be an empty hole in your dash. They took care of that by providing you with the blanks that go in there. But how nice is that gonna be for you 3rd gen guys? Look how big this screen is. And the back of it looks like this. Everything is plug and play. So the way it's gonna work is I'm gonna have different harnesses in here, and everything is labeled. It comes with the antennas, and from my understanding, the only thing that I'm gonna have to run wire-wise, besides just the plugging in the back and plugging it to the truck, is there's a couple of little antennas that you need to run out through your dash, and this is for your cell service. And where's the other thing? And the mic. I don't think that the built-in mic in the Tacoma will work with these units. So they include your own mic, and you just have to run the mic where you want it. So I'll end up running this above my head somewhere to basically the same place the factory mic is in the vehicle. So we're gonna run that. The antennas, like I said, there's some external USB ports. And then we got our harness here. It's got the built-in GPS, and everything is labeled. And all we have to do is match up each label to where it says it goes in the manual. If you're one of these guys with these Tacomas and you want to add a front camera, or your truck already has a front camera, or you've got a Tacoma with the built-in 360 camera, this works with that as well too. It has all the hookups for all of your cameras. And if your truck is like mine only has the backup camera. I don't have a 360 camera and I don't have a front camera, but I did plan on adding a front camera, and now when I do, it's gonna plug directly into this new unit. It's got a plug already back there. So when I run my new camera, I plug it in, and it's gonna have the buttons on the screen for me to go straight to that camera, which is really cool. So that got me excited to be able to know that I'm gonna be able to just plug in my new camera when I get it for the front of the vehicle. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through the manual really quick, lay everything out, get a game plan going, and then we're gonna hop in the truck, pop off my whole assembly. I think I said cluster a while ago, but it's not my cluster. Whatever you would call this, the whole bezel, because all of this is gonna pop off of my truck, and that's where my nerves are gonna get to me a little bit, getting in my truck and popping the bezel off. So we're gonna pop mine out, and then I'll start plugging everything up, and let's just see how this goes. I'm really excited to get this done, y'all. Before I start ripping my old dash out, I'll go ahead and show it to you guys. For those of you who don't own Tacomas, this is what mine looks like. I hate that glares there. I got a light behind me so that you can actually see in here. So all of this comes out, even my control knobs for my AC, which that had me kind of worried. But as you can tell, my truck came factory. Like, I've got this orange stitching in my seats, and I also have this orange accent on this bezel here on the dash. So that is the one thing that is gonna change in my vehicle, is this little accent color. What I can do though, and I am gonna do, this piece over here that matches that piece, you can buy these online. You can actually get these bezels for 3rd gen Tacomas in just about any color you want to match your truck or whatever. But since this one only comes in one color that we're gonna be putting in, which just so happens to be the same color as all my other accents in this vehicle, all this, I think it's like a gunmetal gray. So it's gonna match everything just fine. I'm just gonna have to order me a gunmetal gray, one of these bezels on this side offline, so that everything matches. I don't have to, but I'm going to. I don't want to just have that orange piece over there. But this is how big the unit is now. Let me get that glare off there. There we go. So as you can tell, it's a super small unit. The new unit's gonna stick up here just a little bit, and it's gonna come down here. I will have to relocate the way that I run my cameras and my phone mount up here, but our vents are gonna pop right out of this one, and they're gonna pop into the new one. And hopefully everything is as plug and play as it says it is, and I'll be able to do this. The way this comes out, I think, is you just pull on it. I dread doing that part, but let me start popping this thing apart and we'll swap this thing over and see how it does. All right, y'all, I've got everything pulled out of the dash now. As you've seen, my camera just died in there, so hopefully you've seen that. But I'm out here now going through the wires, and I wanted to grab my phone and kind of record this part really quick to show you what I was talking about with going through, because there's gonna be a lot of wires in this kit, like all of these here, that you're not gonna use, because like I mentioned earlier, the 3rd gen Tacomas, 2016 to 2019, takes different wiring harness than the 2020 to 2023, and you get all of it in the kit. So they don't, you don't have to try to be super specific when you order. You just order for the 3rd gen Tacoma. So all I just did was I grabbed my installation guide, and it gives you a number for every single harness that comes in the kit. So it comes with all of these, but you're not gonna use all these. You're gonna look down here and everything is labeled. And when you look right here, it's gonna say, for 20 to 23 models, please use these wires. And then same thing for the 16 through the 19, you're gonna use these wires. So all I did was I laid out all the wires that I had, and I went through and matched up each one all the way through to exactly what I need for my 2020. And this is the wires that I'm gonna need right here. All of these are gonna go in the back. And like these two right here are gonna be those antennas, the cell phone antennas that I told you about. You have to kind of run those through your dash. Then you got your USB ports here that plug into the back. There's your GPS puck. It's gonna be plugged into the back. You run it. Here's the mic that I'm gonna need to be running for my mic. And then all of these are just your typical wiring harness. All of this plugs in there, and make sure that your radio works, your CarPlay works, and your AC even works, because this unit covers all that. But I did want to stop really quick, show you guys what I was doing. Now I'm fixing to go to the next step, which will be right here. I'm gonna hop in the truck with this manual really quick, match everything up on the back of the radio by the picture and by what it says it goes to, plug it in, pop this unit in, and then we'll boot it up and check this thing out. Man, that looks so good in there. It is completely installed, guys. I don't want to show it to you while it's in the garage. I'm going to pull the truck outside because the lighting in here sucks and it won't do it justice. So we're going to go outside in just a minute so you can check out the install. Before we go out there, I kind of wanted to show you my leftovers after this install and what I plan to do with them. I've got my bezel here. This is my factory bezel. You have to pop out your air vents. They pop into the new bezel, and this is what you're left with. This is all going to get put together in a box and get put up. This is my lower bezel with my air conditioning controls in it. We didn't need any of this for the install with the new unit except for my 4-wheel drive button and my push to start button. Both of those popped out and they popped in the new unit. This will get put up in the same box with the rest of this. And of course, my head unit. This is the factory head unit that I pulled out. It takes 4 bolts to bolt this into my Tacoma. And what I did, you don't need these bolts for the new setup. So I bagged up the 4 bolts and taped them to this unit. And this is all gonna get put together. And of course, the leftover wires these are the wires we didn't need for my 2020 from that kit. I'm not gonna get rid of them. All of it is gonna get put up together. And my plan is I'm gonna box this up, put it in my attic or put it in my basement, and if I ever sell this truck or get rid of this truck and wanna keep that head unit or something happens, I have my factory stuff. I can literally plug and play, pop all this back in, which makes it really good. When I found out this kit was plug and play is what kind of sold me on installing it, because just in case you can always go back to factory if you want to. Now let's get this truck outside. Let me show you how it looks. All right, I got the Tacoma pulled outside. Maybe there's better lighting in here now. Let me show you. Oh, shut this door so y'all can actually hear me. Check this out. Look at how seamless everything looks. This just looks like it came factory in this truck. Everything matches perfectly, except for my one orange bezel over here. But I already got on eBay this morning and ordered the correct one. It was only like 40 bucks. And it'll match all of this. See how all of this is already that same color gray? But check this unit out. So here's my CarPlay. It's already connected. Now I will say the first couple of times you connect a wireless CarPlay with this, it's taken a little while. It's taken, like, when I say a little while, a minute, maybe a minute and a half to kind of wait for it to pick up and actually connect. And in the manual, it says the first time it does take a while. So I'll just figure it out, I guess, to see if it's going to get faster or if maybe I need to relocate those antennas. So inside of the dash here, I have those antennas installed. Those 4G, one's over here, my GPS is under here, and then the other 4G's over here. And they say if you have a weak service or something, you know, if your signal is not as strong as you're used to, you can relocate those antennas further apart or in different locations to maybe get better signal. But let me show you guys this head unit. So this is the display. This is the Apple Music. Let me get off of, okay, so this is the regular display without the CarPlay. If you tap that, it'll take you straight to your CarPlay or your Android Auto, whichever one you have. Hit the home button. You've got your dash panel right here with all your quick apps, but if you swipe up, look at all these apps you got. You got Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, and all of this will work as long as you connect it to like your hotspot or you add that SIM card like I mentioned earlier into the back of it. But what I really think is really cool about this setup is my AC unit. Like, I can hit my AC button, and I wish there wasn't such a glare, but look at all the controls that I have. Just touch button controls. It's probably gonna blow right into the mic now, but I thought that was super cool. I've got a high and a low. I've got it even, you know, I can go to each side, and I didn't have these options before. Mine was just a manual AC unit, but if I didn't want to use these buttons, and it goes back to the home after a few seconds, which is cool, but if I didn't want to use the touchscreen, I've also got all the regular standard buttons right here for the fan, the temperature, and everything that I need. But it's so easy just to hit it right here, you know? And then you can change your mode. You can go to your feet, take it off of that, and just go strictly to feet. And this works so seamlessly. If you swipe down from the top, you've got your normal settings, everything that's happened, your notification center. This is Android 13.0, so I think it's the top. There may be a 14.0 out now, I'm not sure, but this is working great. It's seamless with my phone. Everything seems to be working the way it should, and only time will tell. I mean, it looks stock. I didn't want to put anything in my truck that didn't look factory, but as you can tell, this just looks factory. Everything completely matches perfectly. I wish it wasn't so dark in here and you could see better. I do plan on adding my GMRS handheld to the side of it over here, because I use my Scotty Ramballs and my quad lock system up here for my phone, and my GMRS was hanging here on my old system, but now that the screen's there, all I'm gonna do is swap it and have my setup where it's hanging right there. But I think this is awesome. I'm just gonna run it for a while and test it out and see how it does, but I think it's gonna be great. It's so much more responsive than my actual factory unit. Everything is just like quick touch and good to go. Apple CarPlay, boom, go there. And we go to the music. You guys can see what I listen to. Yeah, I'm a 90s kid. You hit that there. Let's go back to CarPlay so I can go home. Oh, that's not home there. What am I looking for? I got to get used to this big old screen. Everything works good. Oh yeah, and another thing before I hang up with you guys, let me show you, where did I find it? I still got to get used to where everything is. Where was my camera? You can actually, oh, there you go. You can just hit your camera without putting it in reverse and and have access to your camera, which I'm not used to. The only way you could access the camera factory in these Tacomas is actually putting it in reverse. Now I can tap that. And when I add my other cameras, they'll all show up on this same screen and you'll be able to select them and zoom in and stuff like that. So I thought that was really, really cool. All right, so there's one thing I do want to mention before I end the video that I don't think I've mentioned yet. So AU Car, where I got this head unit, is not specifically for Tacoma. So if you're watching this video, you're one of my followers and you're just watching my videos, this is not specifically for the Tacoma. If you go to their website, they've got units for just about any vehicle on the market, older model vehicles, newer model vehicles, just go check them out. And my promo code and link it'll work for any of them. It's not just Toyota Tacoma specific. So if you find the unit for your vehicle on their website and you buy it, make sure you use that promo code, save you that money at checkout. These things are awesome. My favorite part is how they all look completely stock. Like if you get on there and find one for your vehicle and you install it, you'll see that it looks factory. It looks like it came that way from the, from the factory. It doesn't look like you went to Walmart or somewhere in town and bought a cheap radio and kind of made it fit. Like these are made to fit your vehicle, which is really cool. So y'all check out the link, use the promo code if you end up getting you one. Thank you so much for watching this week's video, and I will catch you next Monday at 6 o'clock. Peace.